Hey guys, apologies for the delay. We got all the technical difficulties figured out. I was like on 4 different computers. None of them were working, but we're up and going once again. So I just wanted to get with you guys. We have a really cool event coming up over in Fear Farm. It's called the Monstercross 2020. Super awesome event. They're going to be doing a cool enduro this for their event as well. It's a 2 to 3 day event, 5th scale cars, and it's a lot of fun. So we wanted to do a live video with you guys, talk to the main guys over at Fear Farm and what they have to offer out there, what they're doing, how the event is going to be run, and just kind of talk to everybody and see what's happening. So we'll kind of bring in the main guys kind of behind the curtain of the main people that are at Fear Farm, so you guys can talk to them, ask any questions, and see if you can come out to this awesome event they'll be hosting, I believe, on October 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Somebody can remind me here. Let me look at it. Well, yeah, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of October. So that is in basically 3 weeks' time. We also have the mod event coming up this weekend in Madera. We'll be talking to Frank over there probably tomorrow and get another live video for you guys. But today, it's all about Monstercross and all about Fear Farm RC Raceway in Phoenix, Arizona. So let me bring on one of the main guys, track builder, everything like that, and kind of connoisseur in 5th scale altogether, main man over at TLR, Chris Higa. So let me add in. There we go.
There you go. There I am.
Chris Higa.
That's right.
Coming on in. Chris, you do a lot with the Fear Farm guys. You are kind of the main kind of dude moving some dirt out there with all Bob's stuff, and kind of lead us through Monstercross, the inception of it, and your part in this event.
Yeah, so this will actually be, what, the 3rd one that we do? Yeah, right? 3rd one?
I believe so.
Yeah, third one, because the first one was on the little track, and we got totally flooded. So basically, it kind of started 3 years ago. We wanted to put on a race, and at that time, we weren't sure if the West Coast Nationals were going to continue or not. When the Chase compound shut down, we were having some issues finding a track. Ray and Ryan at that time had been working with the guys at Fear Farm, and that was kind of our first event out there. And it's kind of been, we called it Monstercross simply just because it was October, kind of Halloween theme, to be able to just kind of do some of that stuff, and just have a good time for everyone to go out there. At that point in time, the weather's starting to get better in Arizona. It's not like 1 billion degrees out there. But it cools down at night. It's nice. It's still warm in the day, probably, still 80s, 90s in the day, but not the 110 degree weather that we were probably building the track in on Sunday. And it was triple digits pretty much all weekend this past weekend building the track. Thank God that Bob's equipment is fully cabbed and has air conditioning, because otherwise it would make really, really long days in a hard build.
Pure misery.
Yeah, but this has been just kind of an event that we're trying to keep growing and doing something different. Giving the 5th scale guys a place run. So like the first year we were on where the original 5th scale track was. Last year we moved to the big track. This year we're still on the big track, and I think we're getting better as a group, pushing dirt around and making the tracks even better. So like I said, those guys have been doing a good job. We just want to put a good race out that everybody has fun. It's kind of there's so much nonsense going on with everything in the world. We're going, hey, we all want to just go out and play with our toy cars, hang out with our friends, barbecue, eat, have a good time, and not think about some of this stuff. And we'll stay all underneath our own easy up, so we have our social distancing. So
Way cool, way cool. So yeah, there's two main guys out there, as you were kind of saying. There is Bob Garver Dirt Works. He provides all the equipment, help out there, one of the track owners, and then also partner in crime, Randall Morrow. Both of those guys, it wouldn't be possible without both of those two, kind of doing everything. I know Randall has actually been a part of Fear Farm for a very long time. And he's been there since kind of forever,
Randall did some of the OG U4 RC stuff out there. So
he's been
he
around
actually
for a
started
long time.
on the smallest track, then went to the medium-sized fifth scale track. Now we're all on the big track.
Very cool. So let's bring Randall and Bob into it and kind of let them introduce themselves, what they do, and we'll kind of get into the juicy parts of this event and what people have forward to look to. So there is Randall, or Randy.
Yep.
And we have Bob Garver over at Garver Dirt Works.
What's up, guys?
Got a tractor there in the background.
Right.
Yeah, thanks to Bingham Equipment.
Yeah, that's a tractor I don't drive because I probably do damage with that. Give me the skid steer. I'm good.
Very cool. So Bob and Randall here, they're the owners of Fear Farm RC Raceway there. They're the two main guys you see week in and week out, making the biggest difference there. And this is your guys's, I think both of yours, your second event.
Correct.
Before, I believe it was Ray and Ryan's, where they did the first one on the tiny track. And now you guys are actually on the larger track that the Dirt Nitro Challenge was hosted on. We had a really cool event there for the mod race. And now you guys are pushing dirt around again for another big event coming up, Monstercross 2020. And you guys are doing something new this year. You're doing, I believe, AA mains that might have been in the past, but as well as an enduro, 3-hour enduro. So one or both you can kind of chime in. What do people have to look forward to? What are the dates? What's the what's happening each day? What kind of media are we going to have there? So kind of lead us through the event and what people have something to look forward to.
Go ahead, Randy.
Well, basically what we're going to do, it's October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Like normal, we're going to have practice on Friday. We'll open about noon, let people come out. There is camping. You can come out and camp. So bring your motorhomes or your trailers if you need to. From there, Saturday, we're going to have our qualifying events up through the day. And then Saturday evening, we're going to have something new this year. We're going to run a 3-hour enduro where it's a 3-man team consisting of a pro, sportsman, or an expert and a sportsman, with one car for 3 hours. You can pit your car, you can fix your car to get it back out there on the track, but it has to be the same car. You can't change it out. And each one of the drivers has to run for 1 hour. However you split it up, that's up to you and your team, your strategy and all that. But you can split them up. We've required just to be a truck, stock body, any modifications on the car after that. But we are going to probably put it up right now that we have had some requests for buggies.
I want to run the buggy.
I just want to make sure that, if we do run the buggies, it's okay with everybody. And then, do it that way. It doesn't really matter. This is kind of our inaugural race. So we're going to kind of see how things go with it and stuff like that.
I think this is something different that we had talked about for probably the last year, wanting to do something different, something fun, and something that's actually going to give people some track time to run. I mean, every person's going to drive an hour. Basically, if you took your qualifying and your main events time, you still don't drive an hour. 3 rounds of 7-minute qualifying and a 20-minute main is still less than an hour. So this is also going to help people to interact with each other and also get some of the new up-and-coming guys, a sportsman, to talk to and learn from the faster guys, the experts and the pros that can share some of their knowledge, help them to get better. Also, usually the expert and pros maybe have an extra car, so they can sacrifice a car a little easier than, per se, a sportsman. So allows us to build the teams that way and hopefully get a bunch of guys out there to try something different. Because the other thing is it's a battle of learning how to save your equipment, right? And this is something that I think all the guys coming into Fisco will need to learn, because most of the time finishing is the biggest part of the battle.
No, most definitely. I think it's going to be, a lot of fun. I think I might have a rig that next weekend. And enduro is going to be, pretty crazy. I was almost thinking, I'm like, hey, what if all 3 people, each person got to drive their own car, but you had to be like a team. But each one had to go the hour. So I don't know. Are these 5th scale cars going to do it? Chris, you more than anybody have put these things, I think, through the paces. I'm nervous, buddy.
I know a stock truck will run that long, as long as you don't hit a lot of stuff. Like during the testing, I did a lot of the 2.0 testing at Fear Farm, where with a stock motor and an exhaust can on the little track, we literally we came out and just needed to put time on the car and the components and run it. And me, Ray, Ryan, we literally would drive an entire tank, fill it back up, take a quick look over the car, send it back out. So it maybe had 5 minutes of downtime to fill the tank, give it a quick once over. But a stock motor with a can exhaust probably runs 35 or 40 minutes on a tank of gas on the track. With a pipe, it probably runs 30 minutes because you're going to pull the throttle a little more. With the can, you're a little more about momentum and keeping it not slowing down as much in the corner because you're not going as fast into it. But you could probably easily run 35 or 40 minutes if on a stock G320. If you're easy, I should say, okay, you can't drive it like Matt. How's about that?
What's that supposed to mean?
You can't back it into the corner, full wood, full pitch, and expect to go that long.
That's what you say right now, though.
Who knows? You might prove me wrong and go, hold on.
Right.
You never know. I'm saying with a pipe, I would say that you could conceivably go 35 to 40 minutes. 30 minutes probably without very much issue. With just a stock G320, a pipe geared correctly, and a clutch. To me, the clutch is the wild card. I think the motor will go. I'm more concerned that the clutch lasting 3 hours straight.
Mod clutch, no problem. Good to go.
All right,
we're vented.
We got more challenges going.
More challenge. This is like challenge accepted. Matt's asking me if my car will go that long. I'm asking if his clutch will go that long.
We'll have the mod pop-up shop there with all things that everybody needs. So don't worry. Everybody's going to be okay. So there was actually a pretty good question here from Brian Wells. I don't know about he was asking about the marshals. What are we going to do for marshals? Does your own team have to marshal your own car? I think that'd be kind of pretty cool.
No. So the reason there's a 3-person team, it's designed this way so that you have one person on the driver's stand, one guy in pit lane, and your team has to have one turn marshal on the track.
Okay.
So when your drivers change, basically you would change probably, this is the way I envision it, is my guy that was turn marshaling runs into the guy that was in pit lane runs out to turn marshal. The turn marshal then becomes your next driver, the driver comes down to pit lane. So he can kind of decompress and get his eyes to see straight, maybe get something to drink before he goes out to have to turn marshal. And like I said, you can break up the time however you want. You could make one dude drive for an hour, then the next guy goes for an hour, then the next guy goes for an hour. Shoot, you could change every 20 minutes if you wanted to. But it's all up to how your team wants to break the time up.
And quick question, we haven't really talked about this too much. What about guys that want to hire a turn marshal? Are we just for the enduro race? Are we gonna scrap that and your team, your 3 drivers have to run?
No, if you got a turn marshal, your team just needs a turn marshal. So if you got a turn marshal, most do. I don't know what you're gonna pay a dude to stand out there for 3 hours. I would charge a lot.
Well, I know of a couple guys that are going to hire a turn marshal for that race. So I just want to make sure that that's going to coincide with what everybody's thinking.
Yeah, as long as your team has a represented turn marshal.
Okay.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Probably, I think what we do is what we'll do is when we we're going to draw the starting order out of a hat. We're going to draw chips or pieces of paper because we probably won't have cool chips. And that starting number will also be your turn marshal cone number. So we'll number the cones 1 to 12. Since 12, I think, is our cap for the teams with however many teams we're going to have. And based on your starting position, when you draw the chip out, that's your cone to turn marshal from. That way, it's not, hey, which turn marshal's missing? It's, hey, we'll write down the starting order and what teams are in what order, and say, okay, team Fear Farm, Chris, Bob, and Randy, you guys are at Drew chip 10. Okay, if there's no turn marshal at chip 10, we know who either gets penalized or who to start calling for. So that way you're not trying to, oh, my turn marshal was here or there. It's a no, you drew a chip, this is your turn marshal spot, and this is where you're gonna be. I think the turn marshal spot should be, we've got some pretty good areas for people to be not be in any type of harm's way, probably be able to put a chair out there. We had talked about some cool things for protection for some of the turn marshals, especially in the middle of the track. Hopefully we'll get enough time possibly to make that happen, or it might be something we're thrashing to make happen. But that's kind of the way we envision it. That way it just makes it fair. We know where the turn marshals are supposed to be, and it'll definitely make it a lot easier for the race director and stuff to police as well.
So Jose had mentioned something. If someone pays someone else a turn marshal, that person should not be able to wrench or help their team out. It would be unfair. What are the thoughts on that? Are we going to get that far kind of into it with everybody? Are we going to be that serious?
I think with the first one we're going to be a little more lax. If you guys have a turn marshal and a guy's car breaks, your turn marshal still has to stay out there. I mean, if you got 2 guys wrenching on a car to try and fix it because you broke, I'm okay with that.
I'm sure that many people are going to help probably try and get cars back out there if they broke.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I don't think there's really a limit on that one. I think as far as, you have your 3-man team and it is what it is. And basically you need those 3 guys can, drive and then they fill up. But other than the driver on the driver's stand, I don't see anything other than that, where you could substitute anything.
Yeah, because if you had somebody, one of your other friends that wanted to help you in pit lane, I'm okay with having someone help you in pit lane. Pick the car up, help put gas in it, or anything like that. But it's because you're still worried that you're still racing on the track. You're, as long as you have a turn marshal and your driver and someone in pit lane, I'm not going. If you have some extra hands, I don't think we're gonna fault anybody or say no, you can't have that.
I'll agree with that too, because if you're already out and wrenching, you're already falling behind the pack.
Yeah.
So
you're already thrashing.
Yeah, you're already treading water at that point in time. So I think you could just basically open it up and say, hey, anybody can help wrench, even outside people, anybody that's there, because all of us will want to try and lend a hand if need be, even other people probably in other groups, just to get guys back out there on the track. So I don't think we really need to make it super where only those 3 people can only be that part of it.
The 3 people is generally your drivers. Your hired turn marshal.
Yeah, because
can't drive. Like I can't go.
For instance, if you had more so a sportsman driver or a rookie guy, just using Bob's kids as an example, they're probably not as good of a wrench as Bob is, and he's out there or something like that. A lot of those people won't know as much as somebody more experienced, to be able to help. Yeah. So I don't see a problem with bringing in outside help as far as on wrenching on anything, because the fact is, if you're wrenching on anything, you're already falling behind. So the main thing is just the driver.
I can't bribe Ryan Mayfield to be our turn marshal and say, oh, by the way, do you want to drive? That's where your 3 people on your team list, those are the only people that can drive. If you can hire a turn marshal and you can have people help in the pits or help wrench, that's fine.
Yeah, the main thing is that we just have turn marshals out there. We just have turn marshals out there, and you have a 3-man team because that designates you to them. So another question that guys will want to ask is, you have a 3-man team. Who is going to be policing when people drive, when they come off? Can you run in different increments? Like every 15 minutes you can change somebody out. Every pit stop you can change somebody out. What's the rule on that? Is it every hour? What's going on with that?
Yeah, you can break. Every person's got to drive an hour, so we'll probably bribe someone that's not racing, to work with the race director to kind of keep track of who drove or who's driving. It may be one of those things where we have 10 stopwatches. And maybe it's they're just down in pit lane. So you go, oh, hey, driver 1, everybody starts their clock with the guy in pit lane. When they do the driver change, maybe they hand off the stopwatch. Well, we'll figure it out. But I mean, there'll probably be someone down there policing how it goes. I mean, it's not going to be we're not going to be down to the minute. Oh, Bob, you drove 62 minutes. Randy, you drove 57 minutes. And I drove 61 minutes. We're not, as long as it's close, basically everybody's driving an hour. Can't be, oh, hey, we let Chris drive 2.5 hours and Bob and Randy each drove 15 minutes. That doesn't help anybody. So
no, I agree with that. I think if it doesn't need to be crazy with everything. We basically are going out there to have fun, and see what we can put these things through, and it'll be a good time. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I myself, I wasn't going to volunteer my race truck to do it. I'm like, no,
we're not using race truck. I'm building a new truck for this.
Yeah, there's going to be another truck that's being driven or a buggy or something else.
And please, you guys that are out there, don't use your truck you're running into A-mains. Okay?
Yeah, don't run your race truck.
We don't want anybody to use your race truck and come up on Sunday morning when we get ready to do the mains and say, well, I raced in the Enduro last night and my truck's broken. You should get a new vehicle, or not a new vehicle, but a different vehicle to run in the 3-hour Enduro.
Yeah, scrounge one together parts. I mean, I'll give you guys our base. I'll even give you guys an adventure. I'll give them our basic strategy. So for me, Bob, and Randy, that we're going to run as a team, since everyone's going to drive an hour, my goal is that we all run 30 minutes, which is plenty where the tank will go, and we'll switch at 30 minutes. basically, and then at that point in time, you're coming in to put fuel in the truck anyway.
Yeah.
So that is a good increment. Like I said, if you could switch earlier to every 20 minutes, every 30 minutes, you could go an hour and have the guy come in, get fuel, keep going, and then on the second time he comes in, change. But to me, I think 30 minutes is a good window for people to drive. You generally tend to get slower the longer you drive. You just kind of, your mind wanders. It'll keep you a little fresher. But like I said, that to me is a good way to break the time up because it's a standard interval that I think everybody can manage with the car. It makes sense of when to come in for fuel and whatnot. And if you break, then it's something different. Then you're trying to figure it out, right?
No, most definitely. So Steve Perez had mentioned doing like when you pit and refuel clipboard and pit lane boss. Yeah, I think one of the things is talking to, or talking with, basically 30 different guys and trying to keep track of everybody. I think it's one of those things where you almost make it mandatory to go and, tell somebody that is going to be recording it, like, hey, my guy's going to be coming off, at X time and I'm going to be going up, so that they're able to then put it on the drivers themselves to go up to that guy to say, hey, I'm going to be switching out on the next round with this guy, at approximately, 25 minutes or 20 minutes, on our next pit. And I'll be switching in for him. That's when my clock kind of starts. So everybody's going to have to keep track of their own individual times for each individual team. And then you just go up and say, if it's basically close within 5-minute increments, I would say everything's fine. But just leave it up to the racers to be able to kind of, lost me.
You went sideways.
Yeah, you went sideways. You're still good. We see you.
You tipped over.
Now he's frozen. Now he's putting random stuff up on the screen.
Right. He just left us out here in the cold.
You know what? Maybe I should log in on my other computer and see what people are seeing right now. Find this and see if we're still all talking here with, and that is, yeah.
The three of us are still up, right?
Yeah, 3 of us are still up, but now that's going to make me hear crazy echoes. So while Matt's trying to figure out his technical difficulties, we'll keep talking a little bit. So the enduro itself is kind of it's meant to be it's meant to be a fun event. So don't I don't think any of us are going to take it super. I mean, we all want to win. We're racers. I mean, you give us shopping carts and we'll bang each other down the aisles at a supermarket. But it's really meant to have fun. It be something different, and if everybody likes it, it's something we can do in the future, especially when it's cooler in Arizona because we've got cool lights for the track. So if it's something that works out good and everybody really enjoyed it and had a good time, it might be that we run another event like this in the future that's, hey, we're going to run 4 hours or 6 hours, and it'll be a Saturday thing. So guys that are traveling can come in Saturday. We have practice maybe from like 11 to 3 or 4. Give us a little bit of time to do some track maintenance, put some water in track. Race starts at 6 and we go to midnight or something crazy.
Well, and we're gonna throw out a bone for all the guys that want to run enduro. We're gonna throw money on the table for first, second, and third.
We don't know. We're not gonna tell them how much. But
not yet. No, they'll find out at the end.
And
first, second, and third, we'll get their entry fees back for sure.
And to just let all you guys
it's
know,
going to be super exciting.
let all you guys know, there are already 9 teams signed up, and we're going to
there's only
take 12. We're taking 12 teams,
spots.
so
Yep.
there's 3 spots left. So,
Oh man, can I run on multiple teams if I get a paid turn marshal? Do we? I gotta
no.
I gotta increases my chances to win more money if that's what we're talking about here. I need to. I need the trifecta. Need to be in every podium.
Well, another other than just the enduro race, we have some really awesome news. We got a couple new track sponsors that sponsor the track itself in turn for advertising off the 101. We've got CPT, which is Constant Power Solutions, or Constant Power Technology, and they install. Hold on. They basically install battery backup systems for big buildings and stuff like that. We got Squirrely Boys. They do sand cars and stuff like that. We got Bingham Equipment. All that information will be up later in time. But it takes a lot to make these tracks work and run to the efficiency that we really want it to be. I want this to be a world-class event, a world-class facility, as much as we possibly can without actually buying some property of our own. So, these guys make that possible. Bingham Equipment, CPT, Squirrely Boys, Garber Dirt Works, TLR. We got A to Z Equipment. We get rent some equipment from them. Those guys are huge.
Site Solar is a huge one. Okay, so Site Solar is one that provides the lighting for us, which is amazing. Their lighting solution is hands down the best lights we've had, because one, you don't hear diesel generators running all day to power and all night to power the lights, and they go on and off. We don't have to remember to go turn them off or wait for them, hopefully, that they don't run out of gas. Those guys, like I said, the lights are awesome. They provide great lighting. Without their help, it really, Jason was kind enough to, when we said at the last race, he said, "Hey, this one corner is dark." He's like, "Oh, I'll just bring another light." And he brought another light because we thought one section was kind of dark. That is like next level for the help that he provides, which is, so if you guys have any other events that need lighting, Site Solar is definitely someone that you guys should contact.
Yeah, give Jason a call.
And Scott Yates came down from Sholo and dug the trenches for us for a water line. He didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where he just wanted to help out. I can't thank him enough. That's a huge help. Chris, you're a huge help. You came down, you designed the track, you came out to play with the big Tonka trucks with us, and we built an awesome track for it. So,
and like I said, we've got a lot of good partners. Between Bartolone always supports the track. OBR, Dan and those guys always support the track. Jim Conquest at Imaginative Graphics is a huge where he's going to make all the trophies. Just lots and lots of people. Matt went sideways again. He's back, but he's sideways again.
I'm SOL.
So, there's, like I said, lots of people that make this dream work, but this is also kind of a passion product from myself, from Randy, from Bob, from Matt, that this is just a side of the sport that we love, that we really, really enjoy. And it's not just only about the racing. I think half the time too, it's as fun that we all get to camp at the track, barbecue, hang out, eat, bench race, talk some smack to each other, as well as just racing. The racing's important, but I think the friendships and the other stuff you build outside of that is what makes this segment of the industry really, really special.
Yeah, most definitely. It's about getting the new people out and helping them and getting the sport to grow, you know?
Yeah.
I enjoy watching my kids race. That's a blast.
Oh yeah.
We're in trouble.
I'm just gonna put it. I'm gonna put it down to this one. Dylan's probably going to be the fastest one.
Probably.
I'm just saying he's probably going to be the fastest one because he looks like he's the one trying the least.
Yep. He's out there having fun.
He's out there just having a good time. You don't see him get too frustrated. So.
Yeah, we all need to take a lesson from him.
Yeah. Randall got Kale's and Dylan's truck and mine all up to snuff, so they're fast, and Kale's running pretty fast with his truck now that it actually turns. Yeah, if we can get him just to settle down a little bit, he's going to be a hard one to race against.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I think the race is going to be good. The track, I think, is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll probably post up another snippet. We didn't get to shoot a whole lot of snippet video because we didn't bring the driver stand out because we were spending so much time actually building the track. But I do have a little longer snippet of the Talladega turn, but it's not in slow-mo, so you guys can see it at speed. And I'll probably post that up here after this so you guys can see it.
Well, what was awesome, I was coming down 99th Avenue when you were doing the test runs, and I just saw the huge dust cloud coming, just hitting the barrier. That was friggin' awesome.
Well, that's why I stopped, because I made the giant dust cloud after like one pass down the straightaway into that thing. I'm like, oh yeah, the owners of Fear Farm are going to come by and be like, dude, really? I'm like, yeah, I know better.
Well, that Talladega turns dialed. We spent some time working on that thing to make it right.
Yeah, Bob, why don't you tell us exactly how that works? Because I pretty much asked Bob, how much angle can we put in something with the tractor before it gets really scary?
Well, I stopped when it started getting scary. So when I felt my butt getting light in the seat, that's when I stopped.
Yeah.
So I basically pitched the blade, the three-way blade on it, and just dipped it down as hard as I could go. And I kept going until it started getting really tippy, and then that was good.
Yeah,
you're at that point.
I'll tell you what, when I was rolling it, the compactor was sliding down the hill, sliding down.
Oh, yeah.
So that'll tell you how steep it is. The compactor was sliding to the inside of the turn as I was rolling it. Yeah, so you guys are in for a nice.
There's got to be a 5-foot drop from the top of the mound up against the wall down to the bottom of the corner at 20 feet. So that's a pretty substantial grade. Yeah. So it's pretty wicked.
I'm really happy that Bob and Randall are okay with me having these kind of wild ideas and saying, hey, can we actually build this? And if we can, is it going to be actually something can we actually make it work? Because I'll draw it on paper and go, this is my goal. And I literally told them Talladega. And they just kind of looked at me and was like, okay, so it's a bank corner. I'm like, no. I said, I want like banking. and it definitely's got way more banking than anything we put up there for sure.
Right.
Yep, absolutely. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Your ideas are great. They get a little more wild at night though. After you've been working for a while.
Yeah, the longer the day is, the later it goes. The jumps seem to get a little bit bigger because I'm like,
right.
I'm like, yeah, that'll work. That's not too big. And every now and then I'll see Randy pop up off the roll or something going.
Right.
So, that's what I think.
As long as the roller can go up it, we're good.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. There's a couple times in that hip, I was like, oh man, that thing. I'm like, I don't even know if he's going to make it up that. And the first pass, I watched you go, and you're like, see, he's not going to make it up that. Then you back down and you kind of make another run at it. And I'm like, oh, he might make it. Third time's a charm. And I'm like,
more throttle.
Yeah, more throttle. And I'm like, nope. I'll be in the skid steer and push dirt around and make jumps. I don't know if I want to roll something like that where I'm like, all right, I need to be max throttle to get up this thing. And
that's why it has the seatbelt and the roll cage.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
well, sorry about being gone there, guys. My phone died. I'm actually on Jason's phone right now.
No.
Mine wouldn't charge fast enough. I don't know with technology right now. I'm going to have to figure it out for the next one. So my apologies. So I got the the mod fifth scale racing kill switch up right here. So this, not this kill switch, but kill switches will be mandatory, correct, for the Enduro?
Yeah.
For the Enduro.
For the Enduro, yes.
So I think it's one of those things some guys have been kind of wary about using kill switches. I think more than anything on an event of this style, when we're going to be going for 3 hours, and also just Jose had even mentioned, how long do the transmitter batteries last, or the receiver batteries? We're going to have to swap. So that's kind of one of the things too, is if we lose power, anything goes wrong, we have some linkage break, a throttle servo goes out, anything like that, it can cause a runaway and end up causing a lot of damage to the rig, and more so possibly hit a person. So it's a huge liability as well as a safety issue. So having the kill switch will be something that that everybody will need, just from a safety standpoint, because of the kind of race that we're going to be in. So guys that do need it, Mod is sponsoring the Enduro, and we will have kill switches for $75 if you guys want to get them now for your Enduro car, and it's just for those 10 teams that will have it. And you guys can use any kill switch, obviously, but those will be checked beforehand for the Enduro, because of the fact of it's just going to be a safety thing. So this one we've been running for 9 months with zero issues from anybody. Myself and Jason will be there on hand, to set up anybody's mod kill switch if you guys need one. So just come over, hit us up, and we can get you guys dialed in. So kind of just wanted to add that. Sorry I was gone for a while.
Yeah, no worries. To answer kind of Jose's question, a fresh set of transmitter batteries will go 3 hours. That shouldn't be that bad. Most of us run a relatively large receiver pack. You're talking 4,000 or 5,000 milliamp hours. So it should go 3 hours, but I'm not 100% sure on. So I would have one ready to change out. This is the one spot where I love our Spectrum radios, because I can see the receiver pack voltage on my transmitter. So I know if it's getting to the point where I'm not comfortable with it, I'm like, all right, we're coming in and we're going to change the receiver pack. And you can see on the transmitter before it becomes problematic. When you come in the pit, just take a look at it.
We're talking a lot about the Enduro and everything like that. Is there any prizes for this? Is there trophies? What's kind of the deal for the Enduro?
Money.
Oh, Matt missed the cash payout. Matt missed the cash payout option.
I did. Okay.
Now he's more interested to put his team together.
You guys have already mentioned it. Then I'll get the lowdown on everything later. Everybody, sorry that I am repeating stuff. I was not listening. Did not have a feed.
We mentioned cash payout. We just aren't telling people exactly how much it's going to be and what it is, because
that'll be later.
Is it for just the top team or top 3?
First, second, and third.
Way cool. So it's $50 an entry, so $150 a team, I'm guessing. So really cool. The Enduro is going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a huge strategy and everything like that. Guys that need quick fills as well, I'm sure that's going to be all 10 teams are going to have the mod MIP quick fill. I think that's going to be a must. So if you guys need those, we also have those. We got a new stock of them. So hit us up if you guys need anything, as well as we'll have some to rent if guys want to rent them for just the Enduro.
Rent a cap.
Rent a cap. Yeah, exactly.
You're like rent a wheel, dude. I need like.
I'm gonna steal that one. Rent a cap. Rent a quick. So we will have those on hand for those guys that don't know. We have it right here. You can go to the modspeedshop.com, go to mod and quick fill system, and it is right here. Basically like a dry brake system for like big cars. It's a pretty cool little system for those guys that are out there. That's the quick fill nipple, we call it. That goes on your gas tank, and it basically goes down in there. You guys can kind of see it right there. So really intricate system. Very nice, all made 100% in the USA. So I know a lot of guys will have these out there. But so what does everybody have forward to look? What is everybody looking forward to on Sunday? What's going on Sunday for the rest of the event?
We'll run the rest of the main on Sunday.
So double A main format. So I think we're what, 15, 18, and 20 minutes for Sportsman Expert Pro. Is that what was on the flyer,
Yep.
Randy? I don't remember the exact times.
Yep.
But I like the double A main format. Granted, it does make the main day a little bit longer, but I like that format because if you blow out in the first race, you still have a shot. Like if you break, because it's like if you guys are familiar with motocross, that the second race counts more than the first one. So if you get a 1 and a 2 and a 2 and a 1, the guy that won the second moto still wins the overall. So that the second moto is weighted as far as for the overall finishing. But it gives you guys it'll give you track time without having the long races to kill stuff as far as electronics go, because we're probably going to we're going to stress test everybody's electronics on Saturday night.
No, most definitely. Buddy over at MIP, Brandon Upshaw. This guy's a wizard. So the quick fill system is NASA status. Yeah, it's basically the best thing out there. Brandon drew this up right here. I ended up stress testing the thing. We found out that we needed a little umbrella, we call it, that goes over it, that screws on. We had a couple different spring setups that we had to do in there because stuff was sticking. So it was definitely a lot of trial and error, but we got it really good now. And the quick fill MIP, basically it's the shizzle. It's really, really good. I think everybody in these windows has one. And then if we're racing with any sort of pit stop, you need one.
How do I bribe Brandon to be who's going to bribe Brandon to be their sportsman driver to come out? Or
I can. You know what? I brought Brandon out to a nitro challenge with me, and Brandon's fast. He is the sportsman driver. Brandon's really quick, and I wore him out after nitro challenge. That was like his last race with me. He was
because you guys were trying. That's because you and him were trying to race the same car in sportsman and pro.
It did, but you know what? He won. He won in sportsman with the buggy.
He won in sportsman, yeah.
And then mine, when I ran it, I think the whole center diff came apart or something like that. But he won with it, and I think that's when our servo was going out, and he's like, I don't know what to do. It was a whole nother story, but it's good time. But I think that was his last race there. Brandon's a super good dude, actually doing a lot of stuff with MIP. So this is just a really cool setup for those guys, kind of actually show them. I did this video, actually, kind of showing and talking about it. I think I have my camera muted here, but it's a really nice system, kind of. I think I was talking about it. Well, it doesn't really show you guys, but that's the full system right there. That's quite large. It holds a full tank worth of fuel, 800 milliliters, I do believe it is. And yeah, it's way dialed.
Definitely something you need for the enduro.
Definitely. Sure. So quick fill, and kill switch. Quick fill and kill switch.
Yeah.
Those almost
Yeah,
rhyme.
Lower mains will be single main. So if there's a B, a C, a D, those will all be, I believe, 10 minutes. We'll run the lower mains. It'll be 10 cars in, two car bumps. So there's 12 total on the driver's stand. But
I think it's going to be really cool. So are there trophies for the normal stuff? Are you guys also racing 8 scale?
we're not going to race A scale.
Just fifth scale.
Gotcha.
Just
Because if we-
of the enduro.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Just probably some people might have been asking. I know that actually Ryan Mayfield hit me up when I was at the Surf City, and he was asking about it if we were running during the Monstercross with 8 scale. They loved it.
I had talked with Randy about it. Said because we're running the enduro, we can't run 8 scale. But if the 8 scale guys want to run a race, Randy and Bob will run a race 8 scale only the following weekend, just for the 8 scale guys on the Monstercross track. It'll be like a Saturday event if they want to race.
Gotcha.
Whoever wants to come out, we'll schedule an event for them, just for them to come out.
Then it's, they can go out and race on. I mean, the track has got big 16-foot wide lanes. I think it's gonna be fun. Actually, some of it I think is gonna be really fun with an A-scale car.
Yeah.
It's making me really consider that I need to build one of our new truggies.
So are you guys is the track currently done right now? I know you were working on it obviously this past weekend. Is it finished, or you guys still have pipe to do? What's going on with the status of it?
We still have pipe and a little bit of cleanup to do.
Yep.
But the main part of the track is done, other than pipe.
Right. We are putting safety barriers up also along the pit lane so that nobody can. If a car does run away for some reason, all the people in the pit are going to be protected. So we have that to do, and then the rest of the piping.
Yeah, no more hay bales.
These pit walls that Randy found are no joke. They are tip the skid steer over heavy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2,000 pounds a piece.
Jesus. So you guys, no more running through a hay bale buzzsawing through it with a runaway and hitting a car and dragging Randall through the dirt, right?
Correct.
If you hit
sorry.
Yeah, if you hit that basically it's like a mini K-rail. If you hit that thing, it's on a runaway.
It's done.
It's going to do some damage to the car, not the barrier.
Yeah, so with those guys, that's why the kill switch will help, because if you have a runaway in the enduro, I can almost guarantee you your enduro's over.
Yeah.
Because if you have to bend a chassis or something like that, it's done.
It's going to bolt a second one to the bottom.
Yeah, right?
It'll be kind of its own tweak plate, right?
Exactly.
Put longer screws in and put the second one on the bottom. That'd be pretty funny.
A whole nother chassis.
Yeah.
So you can only run one chassis, though. You can't flip your transponder into a different car, correct?
Correct.
No.
Right.
Basically, I'll draw like a smiley face or something on people's chassis with a Sharpie pen when they're checked in. So the chassis technically is the only thing that has to remain the same. If you blow up an engine, you can change the engine. You break arms, you can fix the car. Think of Think of Ford versus Ferrari. You can change an assembly. You just can't change the chassis.
Gotcha.
So granted, if I blew up a motor and then we went to motor 2 and the second motor blew up, I'd pull off anyway. Because at that point in time, I don't know if I want to go for the trifecta. I'd probably run out of engines.
Let's see here. We'll also have Mod Live Media out there.
Yep.
Kind of show you guys. So we'll be having obviously I need to get your guys' logos for everything. But we'll have the streaming logos here. We'll have picture-in-picture cam. So we did this event out at OCRC Raceway. And so Mod Live Media will be covering the event for Monstercross. And should be a lot of fun. Now looking at it on here, it looks like it's almost like fast forwarded with these cars.
Yeah, it looks like it's speed ramped almost.
That's real time.
But that's because it's that's not even mod 4-wheel. That's 13.5 4-wheel.
That's 13.5 4-wheel. So they almost look like it's fast forwarded, doesn't it?
Those things are moving.
Yeah, it's not. That's real time. So it's pretty crazy.
And the scary thing is the mod cars were a little over a second a lap faster.
Yes. Yeah, so it's a really cool event out there that we did with OCRC Raceway. And so we're going to have the same type of coverage at Monstercross, so everybody can follow along on Facebook, YouTube, Live RC, and Twitch. So make sure to like, subscribe the Mod RC channel. I don't know where I have it. Right there. So you can see Mod RC.
Because I'll say this, Matt, because I went down there Saturday and hung out with you for a little while. But, I mean, that's by far the best coverage of Surf City I think they've ever had in the, 13 years that races run? I was talking to Nick Black, and he's like, well, I asked him how the coverage was, and he was like, well, exactly. In the 13 years we've had it, this is the first time we've actually had a moving camera, so it was much better than anything that we've had. But no, they were really liking it. We got a lot of props, of the coverage out there. And kind of it honestly, it started because of this community. I started Mod Live Media because of the fact that Fifth Scale didn't have any sort of coverage out there. And we greatly needed it. I think Chris and I have been around, I think Fifth Scale pretty much the longest, and Chris a little bit before me. And we really never had anything, Chris, where Live RC would come out, other than maybe a Nitro Challenge, Yeah, Nitro Challenge, that they put up a GoPro because they had GoPros on every track. So
yeah, exactly. So I think it's something that that we greatly need, within the community, is this type of coverage. And we've been actually covering other events, other than just Fifth Scale. So obviously we have a 10 scale one here. We're going to be going out, I think, covering Top Gun Shootout in San Diego. We got a carpet race out in Florida. So this should be really, really cool. Looking forward to it.
Well, and I think just putting it out there, I mean, I think we all learned the value of the video footage because from Steve Perez from Fangs at the Chase compound, he literally sat there and videotaped with his camcorder from the driver's stand or a ladder, and then would go home and edit and download and upload the videos to Facebook and his YouTube channel. And everybody would wait for Fangs to put up the main events and put up I mean, he still puts up videos and stuff now too. But I mean, everybody literally, that was where a lot of people saw the Fifth Scale coverage. And I think you kind of took that and ran with it a little bit and said, hey, we can actually make live coverage with timing and scoring, with kind of showing what's going on. So
yeah, with my time over working with Live RC, I've been working with them for a little bit of time on Reedy Race and a couple different events, and I saw the value, there. And a lot of these, I call them little big events is my name for them. And these little big events, they deserve that kind of coverage, and it makes it possible for them to kind of bring somebody out and makes it feasible, for them to come out, because Live RC does an awesome job. They're good friends of mine, and they cover the huge events like DNC, Nationals, but a lot of 10 scale and 8 scale. So we never had anything for 5th scale. And when I ended up opening up the company Mod and as well as did the series when we ended up doing what was called the Mod TLR Fifth Scale Championship Series, when Chris and I were talking about it from the beginning. And Chris was going to be our announcer at every event, but we soon found that wasn't probably the best of ideas. We just became so busy.
Neither one of us could help people.
It ended up being where we needed to help people. None of us were a race director, and we hired people to come in. But yeah, and I think we had pretty crappy coverage, Chris, for about a year. I don't even think the first series races there. We didn't even have good coverage for a year.
Yeah,
like sound was awful, video was awful, just everything was horrible.
It was a huge learning curve for you, for me, for all of us on what to do with the series and what people would want to see. And I mean, I'm sure Bob and Randy, you guys probably watched a lot of that stuff because you kind of came into it after the Chase series.
Yep.
Right.
After all that stuff kind of went away. So
Monstercross was our first race, both of us.
Was it really in fifth scale?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I built Bob a car and gave it to him because he was out there with the Baja during our track build, and I watched him trying to drive it, and I was like, "That's not going to work." And I literally went home, like in between the 3 weeks, whatever, between building the track and Monstercross, and I was like, "Bob, this car's not new, but it's going to run good. Here, run this. Have at it. Go have fun." And
well, that was your test engine too.
Oh yeah, that was the engine, the 2.0 test engine. Because
I ran that for a year.
Yeah, his motor blew up, and I couldn't get it to run, so I just took the motor out of my test car. We put it in that car too.
I took my 2.0 out of the box at the race.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah, literally, it's stock tires and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Literally
my son Dylan is still running that truck that you built me, Chris.
Yeah.
So for you guys out there, this is Fear Farm's track. This was our race earlier this year. I believe our second round that we had there. And you guys can see the size of the track, kind of what's going on. They're going to have an all-new layout there from what you guys saw before. And you guys now, you got the whole watering situation all figured out for this event? Is everything done? I don't want to see any more pumps breaking down.
Nope.
That we can't guarantee.
Right. It'll be a lot better.
We need 1 or 2 pumps as backups, and then we'll just return them to Harbor Freight or whatever afterwards with a receipt.
Right.
But we need those puppies on standby.
We got 3 pumps.
The last race
we
ran out of water.
Yeah,
we ran out of water too. I saw you guys I saw that that our good friend Scott Yates was down there. He was digging a trench, correct?
Yep. We put main line down the middle of the track, from the center out and from the back, or from the center back.
What Facebook page was that on?
That was on Fear Farm.
Should have been on Fear Farm.
Fear Farms?
Yeah.
On what, the group?
Yeah.
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 So the main page. That was like on Wednesday. I think he was down here.
Yeah.
I saw him.
He drove down from Solo.
Yeah, I got there on Thursday.
Up at Cedar Hill RC Raceway. We'll show you guys that. Give him a little bit of props up there from Sholo, Vernon area. That was a really cool track. Let's see here. There's Chris. Let's see if we can see.
It was before all that stuff. Before that one, too.
There we go. Scott Yates over at Cedar Hill RC Raceway coming down, helping out. You know, showing some love.
See, this is what makes this community rad, where you just sit there and say, hey, we'd like to do this, and we got to figure out how to do it. And someone's like, hey, I got the equipment. We're going to come help you.
Yeah, we covered Cedar Hills thing, so you guys can check it out. It's a really cool experience up there. Well, us three were there. Chris wasn't able to make it out.
I had to be adulting and actually do my job. So
that was a cool race. Let's see if we can show you guys. That's their track. So that was pretty cool. It felt like almost racing, like in the Sierra Nevadas, you know.
Oh, there's Dylan right up front in the blue truck.
Yeah.
Are
You
you
guys
gonna
can see in the background
There's
there.
me
The
chasing
hills
them.
Bet you chasing
and,
him.
Yep.
I really like the dirt there. Their dirt was really good there. Almost like Fear Farm's dirt too.
Are you gonna tell people? Okay, so if and when we go back to Scott's track to drive up the Flagstaff, if you go from California,
we're going from the 40.
Yeah.
No, there's no going up to 87 ever again. I will not be visiting you guys in Phoenix on the way up there. We'll be going in from the Flagstaff area.
Yeah.
Well,
You'll drive the extra 30.
I'll drive the extra 30 minutes because that 87's gnarly, man. That hill going up there I think that took out Randall's van. That took out my van. Like Bob's was floored to the ground, I think. It's a gnarly hill.
Yeah, Randy got the bus stuck up there. Fuel pump died, right?
Yep.
And Matt, how many times were you in limp mode?
Oh, I was in limp mode a couple times, like stopping on the side. That's why you guys saw like me over at Mike Duncan's place, like redoing everything. I was like, this is never going to happen again.
Yeah, that's why there's a trans cooler now in the Sprinter van.
Trans cooler, new fan clutch. So Barlone went in there because I'm like, dude, this thing is overheating on me. So, we're kind of looking at everything. He looks at my fan clutch, and I'm like, could it be the fan clutch? Like, well, let me test it. He went down and grabbed the fan clutch in the motor while it was running. He's like, yep, you need a fan clutch.
That's brave.
Yeah.
So he went and just grabbed the thing. So it was, I'm like, yep. So went down to Duncan's place. If you guys, anybody out there that's in Riverside area or near there, the dude does awesome work. He's a magician with all that stuff. So giving Mike some props. He knows his stuff on automotive, and he's a good fabricator. So we put
Old Man Fast can build some cool stuff.
Old Man Fast has some skills with a welder and knows vehicles, I must say. He really does know his stuff. So
I still think the coolest thing he's made for you is the table rack underneath the back of the trailer.
Dude, it's sick, right? So guys,
that thing's bad.
I've got 2 racks underneath the back of my trailer, and they're on hinges. And you pull a pin and they slide down, they cantilever down. You pop out 2 6-foot tables. Because
yeah, I was like, man, I may have to hit Mike up one of these days to make those, because my tables literally go up between my tables inside the thing and the toolbox, and then I sandwich them with the tailgate with the ramp.
One of my things is to build out anything that I kept taking in and out of the trailer all the time. I'm like, I need to build into the trailer. So like the generator went outside. He put that on the front. We put the propane tank on the front to the side. We put the air compressor on the side, the tables underneath, because I've got a small trailer, so I got to use all the space I can.
Your trailer and my trailer are probably about the same footprint.
About the same. I don't have an ice maker though yet, and you do, so I'm jealous.
Dude, the ice maker's pretty dialed for if you just let it run all day and just every hour go empty it in your cooler. You get ice.
The ice maker's pretty rad, dude. I think I might get one for the shop. I need to look into that.
Yeah.
I think I might be getting one for the shop. Jason, go look for an ice maker.
Right. The bus is definitely going to get one.
So I'm going to be looking on OfferUp for that.
Yeah.
Go look on your computer.
It was something totally random, but I realized that, the one thing that we're always sending people to get, hey, when they leave for something, hey, can you get me a bag of ice? Can you get me a bag of ice? I said, well, if I can make 10 or 15 pounds of ice a day, it'll keep my cooler fine. It'll keep everything in the cooler cold. So
no, 100%. It was a good idea. When they were popping out of there like little Christmas eggs, I was like, this is up, man. I'm jealous right now. I need to get me a little mini ice maker.
Oh, well, that and I just got a bigger generator now because the Yamaha one decided to take a little bit of a crap this weekend, so I didn't have time to fix it before we go to Madeira this weekend. So
Did you get a Predator?
No, I went and found the Westinghouse one.
Did you?
I found it on OfferUp. The guy bought
much?
it. It was $900.
All right.
The guy bought it for his trailer, and then apparently he said he was getting divorced, sold his trailer. He bought it. Dude, the generator had 0 hours on it. He did.
Oh,
we put oil in it. It was brand new.
Oh, so that's amazing.
It's about what it would. It's a little, it was a little less than what you would find it for if I bought it from a store. But it's the fact that he had one, because you try to order one right now, it says delivery time 1 to 12 weeks.
Wow.
I'm like, what is that? I'm like, no. 1 to 12 weeks doesn't work.
I'm gonna have to check that thing out, because that might be my next purchase, because I run the Predator through its paces and I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, like I said, I think the Yamaha
that extra 1,000 would be nice.
Yeah, I think the Yamaha, I think it just probably stuck a valve or something. And I like I said, I'm going to fix that thing, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do with it. But I just was like,
OfferUp.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, to buy a Yamaha or a Honda in that same kind of size is like triple the money.
Yeah.
Like the 6,300 watt inverter that Alton has is rad, but that thing's like almost $4,000. Like, it's a silly amount of money. $3-4 grand for a generator. At that point in time, you might as well go try and find one out of a motorhome. Yeah, that's it.
For everybody that he's talking about, this is it.
It's got remote start too. I can start it from inside the trailer.
Oh, nice.
It's got a little clicker.
That's pretty cheater. Yeah, it looks like the same size as the Predator too. I could put it in my custom mount.
It's probably pretty close. It's probably right around 100 pounds, little over 100 pounds.
So then there's that one, and then there's the Onin.
It's the same as the Westinghouse.
They're the same.
They're the same, but different.
It's true. It's different color.
It's a different color, but because it says Onin, it's $100 more.
No, it was cheaper here than on eBay.
Yeah, than on eBay, but
eBay's $1,200.
Yeah.
So yeah,
the reviews are pretty good. It's pretty quiet.
Deal. Oh yeah, $949. Item is currently out of stock.
Yeah. Dude, I was on the Home Depot. Hey, when it comes in stock, send me the email notification. I got the email notification. Dude, I literally went to Home Depot's site to order it, and it said out of stock again. They just sent me, literally sent me an email, said that it's in stock. And I was like, as soon as I saw it, I tried to order one, and it said, nope, out of stock. It's like, damn it.
They got one in.
Yeah, they got one in, and they filled someone's back order. So
back on a Monstercross and not our Westinghouse over here.
Yeah,
Chris is just excited about his deal. So
I'm excited about a new. Yeah.
For any people that are out there, for two-wheel drive as well. Two-wheel drive is together. It is open.
Correct.
Very cool. Very cool. And is there any price for camping over the weekend? Is there a solid rate? Is it free? What's going on with that?
It's $20 for the weekend for camping.
That's fair. That's super fair. So when can guys get in there? Because I know that I'm probably going to be showing up like Thursday, because I got to set up all the stuff. When are people allowed in there?
I think most of us are going to be there Thursday, so Thursday's fine.
Okay, cool. And are we going to have any problems with the people up front?
You might want to check the
because I know that
I hope
there's some issues last time.
Just tell them you're going back to the racetrack.
On Thursday, you shouldn't have a problem. It's usually Saturday and Sunday when the soccer fields are going.
Right.
So if you go in and out on Saturday, that's usually more the problem. But if you don't leave, then it's not a big deal.
We need to end up getting like a little tag or something like that we put in everybody's car, you know, on a side note that has like, hey, Fear Farm RC Raceway, you know, participant or something, you know, somebody can stick in their window and you tell them, hey, if they got this little, you know, little flagger here, you know, these guys are clear.
Yeah, and we can think about that for like you know, the people that are entering in the race. But after that, I mean, if people are just coming to watch, you know, we can't really fork that out.
Yeah, for sure. But I think it's more so the participants, you know, that
they're spending a lot of money to come out here and race.
Yeah,
so
obviously. So when they get kind of heckled at the front, that's no good.
Yeah.
And usually if you tell them, hey, I'm going to the RC track, usually they're good about letting you in. If they want to charge you the $5, pay the $5 and don't argue with them, and then we'll try and work it out after. Because there was a little incident that somebody got crazy, right? Trying to with the front gate, and then we don't want it to cause a problem for the track itself. So we just want to make sure that we can manage all those things, you know, and we have everyone's got the same expectation.
No, for sure.
We should be able to get some catering trucks in there too. Cater for food.
There is a dialed taco truck out front though now.
Yeah.
That's permanently parked out in front of Fear Farm. It's got a little cage around it. We had the tacos from there, Saturday night?
Yeah, that place is awesome.
It's a pretty dialed little taco truck, so
and also Buffalo Spot. You guys go there.
Buffalo Spot for sure.
Go to Buffalo Spot.
Definitely.
So also Mr. Garver from Garver Dirt Works, who are also our sponsors for kind of the main track that's there. We have obviously the sponsors that we see all here, but kind of who's new. I see someone Squirrely or something like that company. You know, I know there's some companies that are supporting the track directly. You want to kind of give them a shout out?
Correct. Yeah, we got Squirrely Boys. They build sand cars. So they wanted to come down and check us out. They decided to sponsor the track. I'm hoping to have them out there for Monstercross and have a booth and kind of maybe one of their cars out there to kind of show what they do. Because we obviously have a lot of guys from California coming to Arizona and vice versa. A lot of guys that do this also do sand sports. You know, we got CPT, you know, Constant Power Technologies. You know, they're big into the UPS systems, which basically drive all the backup systems for your computers in big industrial buildings. You know, we've got Bingham Equipment. That's who I buy all my machinery from. Killer sales team, killer maintenance. You know, they really take care of me to make my life easier as Garver Dirt Works and doing my job. You know, we've got obviously Site Solar. You know, they've been around for pretty much a year now. You know, Jason's taken really good care of us with those light towers. You know, I'm hoping to pick up a couple more track sponsors here in the future. You know, obviously Garver Dirt Works is a track sponsor, you know, so if you need dirt moved or want to build a track or, you know, backyard cleaned up, whatever, you know, we can take care of it. You know, but there's some, we got some really good advertising property, where we're at. So we're looking for guys that are going to support us. You know, in return for some track sponsorship, you get really good advertisement spot, you know, a 4x8 piece of banner that faces the 101. You know, you don't get a whole lot better exposure than that, especially for, you know, what we're asking. So it's a big deal. And I'm hoping to get more people out there that are interested in advertising. That'll just help us make this track, you know, really world class like we want it to be. You know, I mean, we dump a lot of money into this thing trying to rebuild the track and the equipment cost and, you know, the paint, rebuilding the driver or the pit lane again. I want to paint the driver stand, you know, that kind of stuff that adds up in a hurry.
Most definitely. So thank you to all those sponsors and everything like that. We've been on for about an hour and 20 minutes, guys. So we need is there anything else to kind of wrap up here with Monstercross? It is on October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And probably weather's going to be dialed out there, right? We're kind of coming into the cooler months here. So hopefully it's going to be pretty nice out there.
Yeah, the nights are nice now out there. And
the mornings have cooled off.
Way cool. So looking forward to it, guys. So just thank you for coming on again to Mod Live Talks here. Hopefully we'll spread this video around. We'll get a lot of people going to the event. And
if you guys have any questions, you can hit up myself. You can hit up Randy. You can hit up Bob. You can even hit up Matt, because I'm sure if Matt doesn't have an answer, he'll get with one of us. But if you have questions, concerns, anything regarding the race itself, talk to us about it. Versus sometimes making the mass hysteria of what goes on, everybody keyboard cowboying it up. So if you have something that you may not, you have a concern or something with it, talk to us about it, and we'll do our best to make it right.
Right.
Most definitely. I think it's going to be good. Yeah, and thank you guys again. It's going to be great. Any finishing words, Randall and Bob?
I just want to thank everybody.
Yep.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Chris. I mean, you guys are the ones, man. I mean, without you guys, it probably wouldn't happen. So we thank you very much.
Well, thank you guys for doing what you do out there, and wouldn't be happening without you guys either. So it's definitely a group effort with everything. So we're looking forward, guys, with Mod Live Media to cover this event. It's going to be awesome. I imagine we're going to have a ton of fifth scales out there. There's a lot of drive behind the Enduro, so get an Enduro car ready. Actually, I didn't even think about it. I think it's limited to 10 teams. Have guys signed up already? Are we even at 10?
I think we're limited at 12.
12,
we're limited
okay.
at 12, and we have 9 signed up.
Okay, well, sign Mod up for a team. That'll be 10.
10. So we got 2 spots left.
2 spots left. So I'm already reserved right now. Everybody heard it across everywhere. So reserved.
Everybody get
on
your strategies going.
The Mod team. So most definitely, guys, thank you again for everything. Anybody that needs kill switches, hit us up. I know that all these guys right here are basically running our kill switches now as well. So trying to stand behind that now that we have something that works all the time, and really looking forward to it. So thank you again. Thank you, Chris, for getting this together as well. Chris hit me up. He's like, hey, dude, we need to do a live session. So
yeah. Well, just, the race is 3 weeks out. Just kind of get people to think about it. If you haven't made plans or any of that stuff, hey, you still have time to pull it together. Or, or even if you can't make the race itself, hey, you can make Saturday night, put your couple spots left, put your Enduro team together, just come and run the Enduro.
No, most definitely. So should be a lot of fun. And we actually have another event, the Mod 5th Scale Championship Series, where we're running 8th scale as well, out at CVR Raceway. I think all you guys will be out there for that. So should be a lot of fun. Frank's track is a more technical track. It's smaller than Fear Farm, probably I would say half the size of Fear Farm, but it's a lot more technical as well. So it's kind of a different array. I think that going to all these tracks with the 5th Scale Championship Series really enlightens guys to different tracks, gives everybody some love, and everybody that's a 5th scale enthusiast. And we've been running 8th scale as well. That's been awesome as well. So thank you to Fear Farm for all the support and mod support and pop-up shop and everything. Bob, handles that. Thank you again, Bob and Garver Dirtworks for that, and appreciate Randall and obviously Horizon and TLR for all the support. So couldn't do it without those guys. So we bless you guys, and thank you to everybody out there kind of tuning in, checking us out. All the support for the tracks and the companies. I think that goes without saying for everybody here. And we can't wait to, have you guys out at Fear Farm. And I know that all of us will be on hand to help out and to make sure that this thing goes off without a hitch. So thank you again, guys, for coming in. I know this is probably a little bit longer than what you wanted to spend, but it gives it a good background for everybody that's out there of what's going on, and appreciate it. So we'll kind of sign off here. Everybody can kind of stay on here. We can talk afterwards if you are. But we'll end the broadcast here talking about any last finishing words. Are you guys pretty good?
Oh, we're good.
Good.
Well, thank you. Come on out.
Chris Higa has Energizer batteries there.
Oh, sorry, I had to move. Something else popped up on my screen. The camera's on my laptop. I was like, my big screen is a TV. So
I gotcha. Well, there you go. So Chris Higa has some other stuff that's not PG-13. That's on that's on his computer screen there. We'll leave that alone. We'll leave that alone with Chris. That's on him.
It's some top secret low-C stuff.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's that's
right.
I understand, Chris.
Hey, think of it this way. I showed Bob and Randy a video that both of them were like, just take my money.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Exactly.
I might have to see it too. So.
Yeah, you'll say the same thing.
Well, I don't know, man. It could still go for RC cars, and it could still go for whatever Chris Higa has on his computer screen. They both take your money. Let's be real. You know,
Right.
let's be real. So, thank you again, guys, for everything. We'll sign off now. Appreciate you guys, and thank you for everybody tuning in. And we'll see you guys in Madera, California. And then in another 2 weeks after that, we'll see you in Phoenix, Arizona for the Monstercross 2020. And I think one of the first ever enduro races for fifth scale, a 3-hour enduro. So that'll be a lot of fun. We'll have it live stream all weekend long for everybody. And greatly appreciate everybody's support. We'll have full art support out there as well. If you guys need anything, technical support, setup support, everything. So we'll see you guys soon. Love you guys, and have a beautiful Tuesday night, and we'll see you in Madera. Later, guys.
Good night, guys. Thank you.
Guys.